Good morning. Holy Book of Holy. That was man. I really had to rush through this morning to get here in time. Good morning, everybody. That was a very late Saturday yesterday. I don't know how I managed to do this. Looks like my surprise. Give me a second here. That was weird. I'm sorry. Good morning. Well, in any case, that was a very late Saturday yesterday, man. Honestly, we just kind of got lost on the couch and then got to bed at like a quarter to 1 or something. But man, it wasn't fun getting out of bed this morning. Anyway, Berlin has considerably cooled down, which is amazing. This is so much better. We have around 23, 24 degrees or something like that. It's been raining since yesterday, which is also a bummer, but at least we don't have insane temperatures. Honestly, this completely prevents playing any video games, which is also the reason I didn't do much, honestly. I was so low energy, couldn't just spend any time in front of a screen or a PC or anything like that. So I didn't do much. I played some meta for FINalFantasyXIV, which was nice. I think I'm getting through it. I will definitely complete that one this year. And also, I did some rework. You know this thing that happens when you want to play video games, but you don't really have the energy to do something challenging? So, what I did is I completely reworked my HUD. And I really like it at this point. I also, and this is very important, exported it. I made backups so it doesn't get lost this time again. And I came up with a setup that is actually quite nice. I like it a lot. I reworked the hotbars to reflect my way of playing, which is basically utilizing all keys around WASD, so QWERT, Z to V, and then the F and G keys in the middle, right? And then I have a central hotbar element for all the buttons from 1 to 6, which is basically the furthest I would go on the number pad, because then you stray too far for the ASD and it kind of gets difficult to reach them, right? So that's one thing I did. I did some changes to the overall layout that I can show you folks if we pop into a duty. Honestly, I'm not sure how much of a game changer they are, but I actually like them a lot. They're quite nice. I also finally decided to go from the regular job bars to minimal job bars, which is something I was pondering about a lot recently. I think, as much as I like the flavor of the regular ones, the minimal job bars just take up so much less space, honestly. I decided to go for those. I also did level Astrologian a little bit. We got him to level 63 in the last couple of days, with the help of some duties and roulettes, as well as Chloe's books. So that was going on. I really want to want to get Astrologian on par with Scholar and White Mage. I've been, to be honest, I've been really struggling with Astrologian in the last couple of days because I was having a really hard time to get the rotation right. Always remember the card plays, to remember which the card plays provide, differentiating between melee and range DPS for the Astrologian buff. That's a lot of things that I usually don't have to think about as Scholar or White Mage, right? And I was struggling a lot. So running a couple of duties with Astrologian, maybe 4 levels or so, from 59 to 63, really improved that. But I still don't feel very confident playing him. I prefer him to White Mage, to be honest, just from a complexity perspective, because I think it's the more interesting healer class in comparison to White Mage. But I think if I get accustomed to Astrologian better, I think I will use him as my secondary healer as opposed to White Mage. I haven't dug into Sage yet. I did a couple of levels. Hey there. I played a couple of duties with Sage. I like the concept of them, but I think as far as shield healers are concerned, I'm definitely always gonna be a Scholar. He looks best. He has his fairy. He's preppy. I mean, it's a boy with a book and glasses, right? How much cooler could he get? So I guess, yeah. So that's what we're gonna do in the next couple of weeks. We're definitely gonna level up our healers. Maybe if we have some time, look at the warrior. We are probably gonna do all the Eden raids. I don't know if we're gonna do them on stream or off stream, and I'm gonna publish them afterwards. But we're definitely gonna do them, and then we're gonna continue the 5.1 MSQ. Well, the best way I remember Astro cards: balance is melee DPS, spare is range DPS. So red is melee, blue snowflake is ranged. Yeah, this is. Well, I'm trying to remember them as well, or I have been trying to remember them as well. Switching to Astrologian real quick. So the red sun is basically the melee DPS. Then E and R, I think R is this one here, the Spire, the yellow one is a shield. An arrow, yeah, the blue one is a healing buff. But the problem is literally it's a lot to think about while you're in a duty, right? While you I'm running behind a tank, right? A tank is going like 150 an hour. I'm trying to keep buffs running on him so he doesn't die, right? And my brain is trying to interpret these icons, going like, was that a DPS buff or a melee buff? Wait, which buff do I throw on the tank? So basically what I do is I always throw the latter two, like arrow and spire, on the tank, no matter what, and just differentiate between balance and the spare for the melee and DPS, range DPS classes. And the other two buffs, like the bowl and the ewer, and the other two usually always go on the tank, because otherwise you just completely lose track of everything. I really like the concept. I really like the concept of a healer that also provides group buffs, which is amazing. I like the idea, but it's a lot to keep track of, especially because it always takes me like a split second to remember and interpret the necessary icons. Yeah. Yeah, or you could use balance on the tank. Yeah. Or if you have two melee DPS, you could also use the spare on the healer, basically on yourself. I'm trying kind of to get used to it, but it honestly just requires a lot of getting used to and muscle memory to get Astrologian right. And then you have the problem that when you're running low-level duties, the toolkit on the healer is kind of reduced, and it's a little bit more difficult to keep the healer alive, the tank alive. But I'm getting better at it. So, I just remembered. I wasn't sharing my screen. Sorry, folks. I was still in full screen mode. So, what I was going to do today, Astro has a lot of setup. If you know the dungeon inside and out, it's a little easier. And then Lightspeed is your best friend. Yeah, about Lightspeed. This is interesting because this is something I always need to remember as a... Well, this is interesting. Give me a second here. I just saw something that I don't like about the HUD layout. I'm just going to put this item help. I'm going to move action help a little higher so that it doesn't get obscured by the camera window. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. I always forget Lightspeed. Literally, I should always be having it up when pulling or in boss fights, but it's literally the thing I forget most, right? Use Lightspeed on top of Ascend if you don't have Swiftcast available for quick resurrections. Yeah, and that's something I figured out. I also realized that as a caster class, I should be using Swiftcast much more often. One mistake I've been making with healers or casters especially is I was keeping Swiftcast for the occasional resurrection. While if you don't do that, you can, let's say you're in a dungeon pull with a tank, right? And you pop off as a scholar, you pop off, or as a white mage, you pop off a regen or an edlo before the pull, and then mid pull the tank has already taken some damage. You can use Swiftcast to refresh the shield or the heal, which is super nice because it buys you a little bit more time mid pull until you basically then reach the end of the pull and you can stop again and refresh buffs or heals. So that swift cast mid pull is something that I've been using much more frequently, and I've also been using it on DPS, ranged DPS casters like Black Mage to get off some more damage while running mid pull. Yeah. So that's something I really did. I set my party list in the bottom right of the HUD, the way I can watch party health. That way I can watch party health and quickly click someone for res next to the party list. Yeah, I've moved my party list to the left side here. This is pretty much as near as I can get it, but I also added the focus target bar here on the right, so I can set the tank as focus target when I'm healing and basically always have him visible over the enmity list. That is pretty helpful actually. Let's see if I can show you that on an actual duty. The more your shields break, the more Toxicon charges you get, but you'll figure that out when you get there. Yeah, I hope I will. So we have We have a duty here, which is by the time you hear this, enter the twinning. We've been waiting for this, so let's queue up. See how this goes. Yeah, I really like Sage. From the overall mechanics, I like the idea of basically healing by doing damage. This is an interesting concept. And I played him some, and I really enjoy the Sage a lot. But I kind of feel that the overall Sage vibe being introduced in Endwalker kind of didn't very well fit in with Stormblood and Shadowbringers. So this is why I felt a little hesitant to play Sage with this kind of sci-fi fantasy look. But I really like the class. It's super interesting. I also what I realized about Scholar is that I'm currently not utilizing my full tool set when it comes to Scholar, especially dissipation. I'm very, very hesitant to send my fairy away just to get 3 stacks of ether flow. It subjectively feels like I'm maiming myself, right? Like I'm removing part of my tool set. And it feels kind of risky. So this is something I need to test more often, right? Basically, yeah, honestly, well, you need dissipation when you need to pop off really quick excogitation or imdom, right? In order to bring back a tank from the brink of death. Otherwise, I think everything else is already in your tool set, right? Since the Scholar works so much with heal over time, I feel like you have to think ahead a lot of the time, right? This is also, I think, this applies for both shield healers. I think you need to think ahead of time and always be prepared for the next wave of damage, so you can pop off your heals ahead of time. Make sure that you're not running basically behind the damage and trying to catch up with the damage wave, which is something that is not as big of a problem with like a big healer like White Mage, right? Just pop off what is that, benediction or something, or like a big Afflatus or Tetragrammaton, and just heal loads and loads of HP back up. But there's something that Scholar, if he doesn't have ether flows, not very good of, right? So yeah, I mean, this looks so cool, right? Look at him. That is so badass. Lots of dots, lustrate. Yeah, what I like to do is so ideally, if I can pull off a critical adlo before a pull, right? Then that buys me enough time to then basically keep healing with the fairy and maybe a little bit of lustrate. And that's actually sufficient. I again, I had the problem that I wasn't using the tactics a lot on the scholar. So deployment tactics, recitation, emergency tactics. That's something that I only just learned recently. And it makes a huge difference, right? Because you can pop off a first ad load that is almost always a crit, right? If you combine that with a Fey Illumination, that's a huge shield that you're throwing up pre-pull. So that's kind of cool. What are we doing here? The twinning. Okay, holy shit. Yeah, I was starting to meld in crit hit materia actually to improve the crit rate on my deals as well. That's a good point. Yeah. So badass. What happens here? Why am I so slow? Geez, everybody's faster than me. Gotta get used to the scholar again. Haven't done this in quite a while. Where are you going? So yeah, the idea of putting focus target here to the left and always having focus target on the tank for healing purposes. Oh shit, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't see that, buddy. Oh man, now you're just... Why are you doing this to me? What is this? What does this do? Okay, got it. Understood. Nice. We're handling this pretty well. Really? Yeah, that was nice. Treasure coffer? Yeah. That was good. Really badass. I think the thing I like most about Scholar is mobility, right? Being able to pop off that that AoE damage. While running is appreciated. I really like that. What are these doing? What are these doing? They're just exploding, okay. That was nice, that was a good thing. And also pops off some additional damage with the ether flow. Mithridates. Okay. I was almost completely soaked by the shield. Oof. Is this fun? Come on. That is such an interesting AoE shape. That song, it's official Enigma. The Typhoon. Okay. Shit. Where am I going? You have to wait for me, guys. You really have to wait for me. Here we go. Let's go. What are we doing here? Don't like this at all. Vulnerability. I'm not a big fan. Stasis in one. Okay. Anybody affected by this? Doesn't look like it, right? What are these holes doing? Here we go. Yeah. All right. I like that. That was fun. That was definitely fun. Yeah. What are we doing? Temporal stasis sequence initiated. Okay. So we're doing pretty good. What? You know what? Throw an attack on you and then very heal you because, you know. Okay, no, we're not gonna do this. Shoot! That was nasty. back up. Okay, we're doing it. Man, I really don't. Where are we going? Shit, I don't know. I really don't. Ah, shit. Anyway, was the last percent, so that was fine. Sheesh. That was fun. That was fun. Literally died on the last mechanic. Anyway, I received a player recommendation, which is nice. Excellent work. Not only did you reveal the cause of the ethereal fluctuations, you were able to remove the threat entirely. Thanks to you, the researchers have already completed the preliminary observations. Their findings were somewhat surprising. The Crystal Tower appears not to have been created by the Ronkans or any other known civilization. Its origins are veiled in mystery, much like the Exarch and yourself. Forgive me, it is not the time for idle speculation. We have, however, recovered an artifact. Though its purpose is unclear, it may even be purely decorative. Have you ever encountered anything like this? Well, this is clearly a number pad. Has come to carry out our plan. This will be my last recording. With the tower activated and the temporal displacement apparatus online, all that remains, throw the switch and pray. I'm sorry, I truly am. I wish there was another way. But you are our best chance of success. Ah, shit. Sorry, folks. Give me a second. Our neighbors decided to do handiworks. I don't know if you can hear this. I assume you can hear this. And I really hope they'll be done in a couple of minutes. Because otherwise I'm going to get in a really bad mood. But you're our best chance of success. Our only hope. Your gift will allow you to become one with the tower and survive the journey through time and space. Were our technology as advanced as that of the Allegans, perhaps we could have gone with you. Alas, it was not to be. But when you are finally reunited, all of the hardship, all of the sacrifice will have been worth it, I'm sure. Just promise me you'll spare a thought for those you leave behind. And we'll be thinking of you too, for as long as this world lasts, though I fear it would not be for much longer. This is Biggs, third of his name, 18th president of Garland Ironworks, signing off. May the 12 be at your side, Grahatia. Okay, that's definitely some names we know. person's voice coming from a machine. To be honest, I cannot make head nor tail of it. Do you have any idea what that was about? Yes, it made perfect sense. Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Well, I can tell that you know more than you are letting on. Very well. I will not begrudge you to your secret. Though one thing was clear even to me. The people who left the message were facing a great catastrophe. They placed their faith in the Crystal Tower, in much the same way we have done ever since the Flood of Light. Our prayers for salvation were answered when you and the Exarch returned the night to us and freed us from the terror of the Sin Eaters. I sense that this was all made possible by those people from a time long forgotten. We should do our utmost to learn more of them. Perhaps the researchers will uncover more of these messages? In any case, you have performed admirably in service of the Crystarium. We may have need of your strength and guidance in days to come. Until then, fare you well. What do we have here? We have a quick tongue and a piety. Interesting. Oh, geez. How did you enjoy the twinning? The music, of course. Apparently, it's a mix between the music of the Crystal Tower raid, Alexander, and Omega raids. It definitely reminds me of the Alexander raids. That is definitely a thing that's in there. And I really, really like the insanity and the music of the Alexander raids. That was definitely an interesting duty. I would have really liked to do this as a duty support or even as a trust mission, which apparently is not possible. So I didn't have a lot of time for sightseeing, but I will most definitely do some sightseeing and look at this without a party at some point. It's definitely nice. I like anything. I think anything in the game that actually takes the musical element up a notch, right? I really appreciate. That was cool. That was definitely cool. I liked it a lot. I'm not sure whether we should be trying and do some of the Eden raids right now or continue with the MSQ. Honestly, I think let's drop back in with Tartaru at Mordona and see what he has for us, right? Man. Also, good morning, Color Tinker. I didn't say hi to you. This is also one of the best. This piano jazz track here, by the way, Rising Stones, is now it's not doing that. I hate it when that happens. This piano jazz track is so good, so good. I would listen to this at home. I don't know, sitting in a comfy chair, reading or something like that. So, ooh, Crystarium weapon coffer. Item level 500. La-di-da. I really shouldn't have melded all those materia. Honestly, I will be changing weapons every 5 minutes or going forward. But anyway, Daedalus, gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest. More than my fill. Not so much as 40 winks. No. You're too selfless. That's your problem. But you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway. Not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link prayer. I do hope he's alright though. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout. They say the fighting has finally stopped as the Gimlet Dark, and that the Empire's shown no sign of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment of ours to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First? Great. And if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flamen to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace of the House of Splendors. Upstairs, right? Where are we going? Here. Daedalus, my, it has been too long. Tatru did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? She did. Thank you. Words cannot well express how much I've longed to know more of the First. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tatru should be arriving shortly. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle? This girl who Thancred named Reen? Have such a burden thrust upon you as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Daedalus, might I ask a favor for you when next you return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot. Tell her, thank you. And I would offer thanks to you as well for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Ooh. Rio, I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from a helper. I wish, nay. I've not had a peep out of him, and it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can get a signal from him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can't ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through Gimlet now that the fighting's dying down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting around here twiddling thumbs. Any row, I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I best be... I nearly forgot. Trials at the stones, and she wants a word. Something to do with the patients. He was getting ready to examine him again when I left. We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. Is it? Oh, shit. By the way, I need to deactivate the chocobo music every time I am... I don't know how you folks are doing this. I'm a big fan of the chocobo music, actually. I really, really like the mount music, right? Always loved it, no matter which game. But honestly, at some point, I deactivated it for 14. It just felt kind of like taking me out of the immersion. And I really, really wanted to always be listening to the locales music instead of the random chocobo music popping in every once in a while. So I deactivated it. Yeah, really, I feel a bit bad about that, but honestly, I had to. It seems she's still examining them. I do hope it's nothing bad. Is that like Black Rose patients? Or what kind of patient is trial examining right now?
You're here. Good.
Hey! Haven't seen you in a while.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed.
Oh no, this is about the other... Okay, this is basically the other companions that joined me in the first, right?
Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them.
Okay.
Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed.
Very perceptive.
Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
So we gotta bring them back rather sooner than later, I guess, right?
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
No rest for the righteous, eh?
I realize you've only just returned from saving 2 worlds, but time is not on our side.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we could still kill him, but I rather prefer not to.
Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I, for one, am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch.
Okay.
Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
All right. We can do that. Let's talk to Graha. By the way, folks, I only just realized it's only 3 weeks until the FanFest in Berlin. I know some of you are definitely going to that. I'm already well aware. If anybody's going, just drop me a message. Let me know. This is literally my first ever gaming convention I'm going to. And I am a little bit nervous, afraid, but also super excited. I really can't wait to see what's going on there. So that's definitely going to be something special. Also, yeah, it's also going to mean I'm not going to stream on that week, right? But yeah, so if anybody is going to Berlin FanFest, let me know. I'll definitely be there. I'll definitely bring a camera. I want to take some pictures, and I'm super excited to see what they've prepared for us. So, Crystal Exarch. Is that still what we're calling him? We're still not calling him Grahatia. Okay. Daedalus, you are returned. I hope your time in the Source was suitably restful. But of course, it wasn't. Go on. Their corporeal ether shows sign of instability. By the gods, the possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mistress Kryl and Master Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. Hey kids, listen, we don't find a solution, your body and soul will permanently be separated from each other.
Pray excuse my late arrival. Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state.
So you never... okay, he never intended to actually summon the Scions to the first.
I would not soon throw my life away. Not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
We could kill him. But of course we won't.
Oh. What was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
I love you so much, Alize. That was so on point.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you just...
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success.
It's me.
I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides.
It's true. Got a big inventory.
This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Sounds morally complicated.
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend.
The requisite fixity of belief.
Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back onto our vacant bodies.
Well, I could just put them in my inventory and then... Right? Carry them.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us.
Okay.
On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after.
Certain Numo.
Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrand is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
Such a pretty boy. We have here oysters on the half shell, jellied charcoal, piety, vitality, lemonade. Spell speed, direct hit rate. Let's take it. The Crystal Exarch would waste no time in seeking help for your stranded comrades. The Grand Cosmos, that is, the palace we see, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeyest thither, I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of white auracite, by thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time, and should the Numu consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. I am getting, and I'm not 100% sure about this, but I am getting something. Oh, we could get there from Fort Job. Am I the only one getting Matoya vibes here? Am I the only one feeling like this feels like a Matoya shaped character in the first, right? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure about this, of course, but feels a bit. I don't know. I mean, we've met Grenold, right? So it's only safe to assume that there are other shards in the first. So let's see if I'm right or not. By the way, the fact that the music. So, oh shit. Am I right here? Yeah. Give me a second. We need to fix this. We need to fix this, folks. This is horrible. Enable normal battle music. Play music when mounted. Here we go. Apply. Close. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace ground when I was set upon by my host familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. I'm sorry, but are we not here to petition for assistance? You can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creation. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with those who would overcome my defense. As would any true seeker of knowledge. And there is little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? Well, I will not deny that I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing around in the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods invariably improve when Daedalus is around. What exactly are you implying? He averted the calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume him has been extinguished. It is only natural that we are pleased to see him. Yes, you will have plenty of time to celebrate his good health after we've finished. Of course. Then let us proceed to the palace. Yeah, is there a Warrior of Light Grahatia / Alizé shaped thruple somewhere in the future? Here we go. We're gonna run this with NPCs just because I want. Oh, Grahatia is what, an all-rounder, so he's filling in as the tank. It's all right. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Item level is kind of right. Now let's go. The Grand Cosmos. Ooh. That's tentacly. So, should you value your lives, you will quit this place at once. Now be gone. I don't think that is going to happen, buddy. Hi. Silent relationships with the Warrior of Light remain vague, so it's up to you if there is something romantic or not. Meaning, Rubble could be your personal HC, no questions asked. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh shit! Shit! Come on! Let's go! Stop hitting on me. So much for the Thrubble, right? Not the biggest heal in the world, right? Doesn't add loads of heal. It's just 300. Not much. So. What's a new Moo, by the way? I thought new Moo were the... Give me a second. Yeah, right, exactly. New Moo were those friendly little, I don't want to say dog-shaped fairy or elves, right, with the big ears. And that person looked a little bit different, like a lot more tentacly, if you ask me. But maybe I'm wrong. Crystal Exarch, have you tried tanking those maybe? That's something that you could do, please. Come on. Yeah, the ones with the floppy ears. They're basically the friendly dog-shaped ones that live in these mushroom caves, right? But this one looked a little different, right? He looked a lot more. He looked a lot more like a friendly mind flayer, if you know what I mean. For all of you who understand D&D references, but maybe that was just because he was wearing a cowl or a hood, right? And there's the broom. Oh. The broom is it? I mean, this is as close as we get to a Montoya reference, right? Right? I mean, come on. And we are talking like a lot about new tank. Those, please, buddy. This is it would be really appreciated if we... Oh shit, I don't have... Oh, now I'm missing the deployment tax. This is so sucky. Come on, really. I hate this. This is the worst scholar feeling ever, when your Adlo crits and you don't have deployment tactics up, so you can distribute it through the whole group. This is the most dissatisfying feeling of playing Scholar ever. Glamour is an in-universe thing. Oh, are you saying glamour is not a game mechanic? Glamour is actually narratively explain. I never thought about this. Oh, you mean glamour in terms of, or do you mean like, do you mean glamour in terms of what we do as players and glamour, you know, armor stuff? Or are we talking about Fey glamour? I'm so confused right now. Or is it the same thing? Here we go, come on. Fey glamour as well as armor stuff. Asia potions are canon as well. Oh. I love to check and find out what the canon explanation for glamour is. I need to research that. Arrive at the martial court. Seeker of Solitude.
So big.
It's a helmet. Are you wearing a helmet? Helmet, right? And they're attacking me with a magic boom. Okay. What is happening with the magic boom? Okay. Don't appreciate that a lot. What is... Oh, the brooms are just swishing and swashing around. Okay. Come on, kids. Get in here. Get in, losers. Shoot. Somebody got the dot. Where is the... Oops. No. Get damage over time back up. Okay, where are we going, kids? Just decide. Wow, that was hurtful. Where are we going? Let's stay away from those rooms. Alrighty. Heaven's Eye Materia, War Greaves of Maine. By the way, for duty support tanks, it's a good idea to inch closer to groups instead of running in. Programming is so wonky that the tank AI only triggers at very close range. It's a good idea to inch closer to groups instead of running in. So wonky that the tank AI only triggers at very close range. Yeah, alright, that's a good point. Thank you so much. I will keep that in mind. If you folks will just give me a quick second, I just need to refresh my drink, and I'll be back in 2 minutes, right? Give me 2 minutes, folks. And we're back. Thank you for bearing with me. Still, you press onward. Oh, this is gorgeous. Man, wow, this is beautiful. I need to. This is a good place for a photo op. Really, what is this? Come on. Belport series, alright. Come on. Some dots. Oh shit, I'm so stupid. I didn't. Come on, buddy. Sorry, I thought I had pushed the button, but I didn't. Almost let you die. Here you go. Come on. Back up your pop. You silly little almost tank. Sometimes damage output and duty support is so low sometimes compared to damage output with real players, but it is what it is. With Wings of Dreams, I bar thy path. Is that so? A War Ring of Fenrir. Man, this is... It's garden. It's gorgeous. Sheesh. Awesome cycle. Oops. Bleeding. Also, something I realized while doing Rudy Roulettes the other day is the extent to which I could become better and have become better at identifying negative status effects that I can cure with the Asuna and taking care of them. Honestly, was something that early on I wasn't paying much attention to, and now that I've realized how they're visualized in the game, I'm paying much more attention to them, and I think it has made me a bit of a better healer. Whoa, let's go. That was harsh. I love these flying little piggies. They're so cute. They are so cute. What is going on here?
Away with you!
What are you? Rhiannon Sith. These cretins have sullied the sanctity of your garden. They must be dealt with. They certainly have a gift for creating familiars. If only there were not so many. Let's go. Let's see. Ugh. What's this? Seed? What are we doing with the seed? Okay, we're carrying it. Where are we carrying it to? Okay. Can I drop it? How do I drop it? Okay, so I guess we need to drop the seeds onto non-fertile ground. That makes sense. Oh. Okay, but buddy, really, do you have to stand where I'm standing?
I will not hold back. You underestimate me.
Let's go. Are we doing this again? Oh, now we have to do it the other way around?
I will not hold back.
Push to these skills, right? Okay, that's not greatest of ideas, man. Ah. You silly little NPC goose. Let's go. I feel like the NPCs did it wrong in this instance. Kind of feels like it. Font of quintessence. All right. Okay. There's another one here. Yeah, so why did we do it wrong the other time? The predetermined ice spots are a pain because NPCs will do their thing without reacting to you. Yes, yes, thank you for saying that. Thanks so much. Come on, get in here. Ode to Lost Love. Okay. Can you please keep... Why is she carrying them? I don't understand. This is just silly. She shouldn't be doing that, right?
I will not hold back.
I'm with you.
Carrying them to the... Oh no, she is because they're being pushed. Ah, now I get it. Now I understood. Ah, she was doing that because... She was moving them to a field where they would be pushed to a non-fertile... Now it makes sense. Please stay where you are. Please just stay where you are. Thank you. Come on, 1%. 0. I shall bloom again. As you should, but please not. Ooh, this is kind of nice. Bark weaves. Okay, interesting. I think there might be some interesting camera outfits in here. Let's go. This palace is beautiful. Alize is the worst offender when it comes to annoying the player. She's a caster, but somehow ended up hogging melee spots anyway. If you ever level the DPS, take her as what not to do. The only DPS I have been leveling so far is Black Mage, to be honest. And I think I'm doing some dots here. Shit, come on, buddy. Heal back up. Stay alive, man. It's not that hard. You're a tank. You're supposed to have mitigations and stuff, right? So my problem with leveling DPS is literally the fact that I don't have the patience to wait for duties to pop like 10, 15 minutes. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I need to get a hobby where I can do things while waiting for duties to pop, like DPS duties. Maybe that's the secret. Honestly, I don't know. Savage Might Material, okay. Chamber of Raised Cups. There's ghosts of people here. Oh my, this is... Alright. There. The Chamber of Immortal Legacy. New knights. Look at the knights. Come on. Come on, just like Zach. Keep up. Stay alive, bud. Hunt log and Palace of the Dead until 50. Frontline roulettes unlock at level 30 and give a ton of XP. The Lion's Rage roulette shortly after reset is also a great option for quick DPS queues. Okay, that's good to know. I never thought about using Palace of the Dead for leveling, to be honest. Ooh, okay. You guys again. A lot of righteous folks around here. Stop taking so much damage, okay? Oof. Come on. Are you referring when you say the daily hunts, right? Kind of like the bounty hunter boards, right? We should be doing those more often, to be honest. You're right. Palace and later Heaven and High are great for leveling all jobs in general, especially Palace since they made it a lot easier on early floors. I never considered using Palace for leveling, so that is highly appreciated. That's a good point. And I think I will also consider having a look at the bounty boards. This ballroom is... Man, this is such a gorgeous locale. Once you reach the Grand Company rank that unlocks housing, you can unlock hunts. Yes. You have sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus. Our guests yet want for company. Okay. Okay, Lugus. Okay. I guess we can pop off some shields here and then let's go in guns blazing. Is this sofa gonna attack us at some point? Whoa, why did this hit me? Otherworldly heat. Okay. Oh, come on, buddy. You're gonna be okay. You are going to be... Oh, no. Here we go. Mortal flame begins searing your flesh, enveloped by hungry flames that will be quenched until they have burned something to ash. Okay, kind of sucks. Oh shit, I need to... Now I understood. I have to get to the sofa and burn down the sofa. I was wondering what the heck the furniture was about, but I didn't actually get it. Now I understand. Let's go. Come on. Fortune left. Why does this still hit me? Man. All right. Pop you back up. So what is happening? I need to... Ah, okay, yeah, got it. Got it. I actually need to burn furniture. That makes total sense, right? What is this? What is this?
I will not hold back.
No. We're not gonna do this. We are not gonna let you do this. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Yeah, I sometimes struggle to come on. Here we go.
I'm with you.
Are you though? Go. I think we need some mana here. It's gathering ethereal energy. I still think I got out of the way, but I didn't. Come on, Lucas. Nope. We're not gonna do this. We are not doing this. Not today. That wasn't even enough damage to get the excogitation triggering. Okay. That's 23%. Question is there furniture left? Yeah, there's velvet drapery. Okay, that's good. That's good. Come on, bud. Can you die already? Gonna do another one, right? Yeah, here we go. Shit, what happened to Allison? Come on, girl. Get your back up. And then we're done. Thank you. Now what about the Mind Flake? Jacket of Scouting. Oh, look at this. This is actually, oh man. I think I like those. I think we need to be running these duties a lot more. Get us some nice furry uniform. Cool.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Has a cute little voice. There she is. So cute. Look at them.
Backlog, 'tis good to see you again after all these years.
Backlog?
And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Sake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence!
That's a lot of attitude. Okay.
It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men.
What is that voice? Are you kidding
You
me?
are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
Shouldn't that be spelled differently? Is that a dog joke? She takes it kindly or not?
No! If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought.
Are you the court mage? The magical play of Volbert. Yes, the court mage that we saw in the flashbacks from the job quests, right?
You know of the plague?
Yeah. Of course we know of the plague. Of course we know of the plague.
Then you know how dangerous soulcraft can be. Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them. Are you sure you're willing to take that chance?
We don't have any options, right?
No.
No. No.
Very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
Absolute secrecy? That's a lot of secrecy. There you are. The others have gone to the Crystal Tower with Beck Luke. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to such words when treating with them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the new moon with us. Had he not, Beck Luke wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guest waiting would only add insult to injury. You may now enter the Grand Cosmos with a party of NPC avatars. To make use of this feature, open the Trust interface located under Duty in the main menu. This is... Oh, got it now. I can join the Grand Cosmos, but these little buddies aren't leveled up enough. Okay, so there's something else I need to level up for the future. Jeez. King Salmon Meunier. We mustn't dally here any longer. If Beck Luke is to hear the truth of what travailed in the first, you of all people should be present. Well, then let's return to the Oculus. Hello, good sir. Yes, I would like to enter the Oculus.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing,
Which it was.
but that you hail from another world as well?
Correct.
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies.
Did they just call us dense?
Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them
I
all.
am the densest of them all. That is absolutely true.
As I said before, Were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Numo are so cute. I love them so much.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself.
All right.
As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
Fetch quests.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
After all, yes. We are excited to run around fetching stuff. Definitely. It's just indescribable how much this place could benefit from a really, really good logistics supplier, you know what I mean? You have spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? Yep, white auracite, capture the soul, and then just carry it over. White auracite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. That would put the ever-diligent adventurer out of a job. That is absolutely true, unfortunately. I mean, we've been... I haven't done the Moogle post quest yet, honestly, so that's still pending with me. But I have, and I keep retelling that story, I have very, very fond memories of the Lord of the Rings online MMO, and there was an ongoing Hobbit post-delivery quest thread, which was absolutely lovely, and I deeply appreciate it, and I hold it very dearly in my heart until today. So I guess it really depends on how you write a fetch quest, right? But yeah, I am well aware that making us run around the locales and fetching stuff is quite necessary. So yeah, even though I've saved 2 worlds, I will gladly go somewhere and dig up some onions or, I don't know, some roots for you, because that's just the kind of person I am, right? It takes somebody who wants to get their hands dirty to save the world, right? So, auracite. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the auracite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then, would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at the journey's end, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why? Do you think you might be able to help them? I might or might not. But I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. And I would be glad to take you to them, on the other understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Orianger in creating the requisite aura site. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Backluke as necessary? In Stormlove, you've traveled to the Far East only to pick up dried bison poop in the steppes for people who have no idea who you are. This is very much true. Let us make for Armorang then. And honestly, nothing is funnier, right? Nothing is funnier than entering a new area, speaking to people who have no idea who you are, and you've literally prevented calamities and fought off icons and whatnot, right? And they're like, oh yeah, could you just go over there and pick a couple of flowers for me? I need it to brew some tea for some very, very obscure reason. And you're like, of course, I've got time for that. I totally do that. It's not like Catherine. Okay. This Chocobo is called Catherine. Good for you, buddy. No. Chocobo is called James. The owner is called Catherine. That makes sense. So this is Halric, is it? Yes. His etheric balance leans perilously toward the light, towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. You will become a sin eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Ulrich was completely unresponsive before, but now... Now he's mumbling. Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patient. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Vobert. Then, for darker purpose. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never to make it again, but for their sakes, I will break the oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Beat the patients with salt tonic. Ulrich? Which patients am I supposed to treat? I'm confused. Oh, these ones apparently. But not Hallrick? Weird. Cotton stares at you blankly. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. Oh, what is this warmth I feel in my chest? I feel warm, and my legs, they don't feel as heavy. Now then, have you noted any changes in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function in most of the patients. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared. It is true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow. And yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium in time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, and that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of corruption, like Ulrich, appear unaffected. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. Fine reward for his persistence. The opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Yeah, roast beef. Gotta empty the inventory at some point. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. That I was once a mage of the Royal Court of Vobord, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administer to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labor. I hope to do great things. But in the end, my knowledge only brought suffering. A plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. You mustn't dwell in the past. At least the warriors of light brought those responsible to justice. That is true. That they did. I shuddered to think what might have happened had they not. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. You think it can be done? Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done. It's all the same to you. Whatever reagents we must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. Let's go. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. You're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients? Fine. Alphinaud, the water and clay will be simple enough. I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... Pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Yes, Alphinaud. Fine. We'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the New Moo of Pla Eni. They will be able to supply you with the water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? Fetch quest, baby. There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Quest accepted. Yeah, I could do this. Sure. Clay from Amarang would be likely the best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist you? I could ask the miners at Twine, and there are scavengers at Moritsuk. I assume the miners would be the better choice, right? Ah, yes. They will be able to point you in the right direction, I'm sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts these people here. Magnus! Finally back to some trolley shenanigans. No, hopefully not. How's your trolley faring, guys? Are you doing all right? Oh, it's the guy with a defined back and Jarek. You remember these folks? Ah, Nettle as well. What a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Nabatha Ring. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chai knows. He seemed pretty keen on the idea I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley, but Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just... And something tells me Daedalus here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? I see. And this familiar requires clay from Amarang. No further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Biran mines to make adobe bricks. The place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than look there. Search Mount Varan mines for lumps of pristine clay. Is definitely something I am able to do because I absolutely know where Mount Varan mines are, right? Not like I have the worst sense of orientation ever. Oh, I think it's that place back there, right? Or is it just... No, it's just... It's here, right? Oh, yeah, over there. I can see it. I can see it. There you go. There's some more clay somewhere here. Oh, I assume not up here, right? Oh. There's got to be... Oh. Here. Ah. Shit. No, not the wandering coyote. And we're done. Where's a little buddy? The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into an ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it. I do, in fact, have the clay. Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with a Fey lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beck, Luke, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Elric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them, but if there is a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do it. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. So we're gonna have Alizé cast the spell? I dare say there are a few in all of Norvent who are more dedicated to finding a cure. Absolutely, she's the best woman for the job. I'll give it my all. For Ulrich, for Isleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Elise shall be the one to conjure the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
A porksy.
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
Oh.
A porksy.
Yes, a
I
porksy.
think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Really, really, Alfredo.
Yes, yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Can you do it
Pay
better
him no
then?
mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Oh.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric.
We have now we have a healing Porksy.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
Porksy and Bess.
A name.
Pork chops.
All right, I've decided. Now.
You call him Alphino?
Go, Angelo!
Angelo. Really, you called the Porksy Angelo? I think this is really nice, allowing Alizé to heal some of the broken people she's met.
Mother,
Oh, buddy. All we've achieved? How is he, Becklook? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. My eyes do not deceive. A hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe that I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect, that is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via our site. Thought occurred to me about this treatment. Becklook said the soul is rendered dormant. The mind is Becklook said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such. Is she talking about the little kobold? Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halrick's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance that we can still save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Garbu fellow of whom you speak? It's a little kobold boy we love a lot, even though he's made mistakes. I see. His condition does sound familiar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is some hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time it is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their pre. The two of you can return to the Crystarium with back Luke and see if you can't move some headway with the newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. The fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then. Finally, I found you. What happened now? Kaishir? What are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai is beside herself, sighing, pacing, a whole lot. Near enough begged me to go find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything to do for you. Thank you, Beck Luke. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore's is at stake. Right, folks. And I think this is where we'll call it a day for today. That was fun. That was actually good. Man. I'm a little excited. I am super stoked about the fact that Alizé's storyline is so closely entwined to the people she's met that have been broken or hurt somehow, right? Gabu, the little kobold, Tesleen, Ulrich. This seems to be very, very closely tied to who Alizé is as a person, and I really like that she's given the opportunity to heal some of them. This is super nice. I like that a lot. This is definitely one of the story arcs that I'm really, 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 really invested in. I actually love it. The duties were amazing. I am definitely going to jump back into the it's colony, but that's not what it's called. It's called the Grand Cosmos. I think this is also a great G posing location, by the way. But I also want to check the remaining equipment that we can retrieve from there. I'd really like to see if there's anything glamour worthy in there. And then we still have the Eden raids to continue. So thank you very, very much, everybody, for keeping me company. Thanks to the chat for imparting your wisdom and your feedback on me. I always appreciate that. So thanks a lot. We will be continuing next week at 11 a.m. right here on this spot, probably with the MSQ, unless we find something else fun to do, but most probably the MSQ. If you're not following this channel, leave a follow. I really appreciate that. And also leave a like to this video. And thanks so much for keeping me company. Have a beautiful Sunday. Enjoy whatever you have planned on doing. And hopefully seeing you around. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.